There is a truth most people will never understand. The more you try to control the world around you, the more control you lose over yourself. You chase results, approval, outcomes, and in the process, you become reactive, anxious, enslaved by forces you cannot command. But the ancient Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, they discovered a paradox. If you want true power in life, you must detach. This is the Stoic power move. Detach to gain control. This video is not just advice. It's a mindset shift, a path forward in a world addicted to attachment. Today, you'll learn why detachment isn't weakness, it's strength, and how letting go might be the most courageous decision you ever make. 1. The illusion of control. From the moment we wake up, we're bombarded by things outside our control. The traffic, the economy, the behavior of others, the news, gossip, delays, technology glitches. And yet, we react to all of it, emotionally, compulsively, anxiously. You check your phone. Someone ignores your message. Your mood crashes. You post something meaningful, but it gets no likes. Suddenly, you question your worth. You do everything right and still fail. Every day, your peace is hijacked by external noise. Why? Because we've been trained to believe that controlling these things is power. Control your image. Control your reputation. Control the outcome. But the Stoics saw this differently. They saw that the pursuit of external control leads to internal chaos. The more you cling, the more you suffer. The tighter you grip, the less stable you become. Real control doesn't mean controlling everything. It means not needing to. 2. The Stoic divide. Epictetus, a former slave-turned-philosopher, offered one of philosophy's greatest truths. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. That's it. That simple idea reshapes everything. You cannot control what happens around you, but you can control how you respond to what happens. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, wrote in his private journal, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." You don't need to control the storm. You need to control your posture in the storm. Power doesn't come from dominating others. It doesn't come from avoiding pain. It doesn't come from fixing everything. It comes from mastery over the self. That's the Stoic divide. What is up to me, and what is not? And the bridge between the two is detachment. 3. What detachment really means. When people hear detachment, they imagine indifference, disconnection, coldness. But Stoic detachment is the opposite of apathy. It's not a lack of care, it's the highest form of care. Detachment means, I care enough to act, but not enough to be destroyed by the result. I show up fully, but I don't cling. I love deeply, but I don't lose myself. I give my all, but I don't demand certainty. It's emotional maturity. It's a spiritual discipline. It's psychological freedom. You don't detach because you don't care. You detach because you care more about your peace than your ego. The more you try to force life into your design, the more life resists. But when you let go, truly let go, you stop fighting reality. And reality starts to flow. 4. Applying detachment in daily life. So how does this actually look in real life? Let's break it down into the areas you live in every day. 1. Work and ambition. You want to grow, achieve, succeed. That's natural. But when your self-worth is tied to the outcome, you begin to suffer. Detachment at work means you give your best, but your identity doesn't rise and fall with wins or losses. You act, you improve, you stay disciplined, but you don't let one mistake define you. You don't burn out chasing applause. You're rooted in process, not obsessed with results. 2. Relationships. Attachment leads to control. Control leads to conflict. Detachment in love doesn't mean leaving. It means staying grounded in your values, while allowing others to be who they are. You love deeply, but not fearfully. You don't lose yourself trying to complete someone else. And when necessary, you walk away without hatred, because your peace is priceless. 3. Social media and validation. In a world of likes, followers, and fake metrics, detachment is a radical act. You post with purpose, not for applause. You speak your truth, not what's trending. You don't chase algorithms, you chase authenticity. Validation is temporary, but integrity is forever. 4. Criticism and rejection. Detachment gives you armor without building walls. You listen, but you're not wounded. You reflect, but you're not defined, because you've separated your identity from other people's opinions. They can talk, but you remain unmoved. You're not here to please. You're here to grow. 5. Even in death. Memento mori. Remember, you must die. To the Stoics, this wasn't depressing. It was empowering. When you detach from the fear of death, you detach from the fear of life. You stop wasting time. You stop avoiding risk. You stop holding back. And you begin to live fully, because each breath could be your last. 5. What you gain through detachment. So what happens when you let go? Clarity. You're no longer blinded by anxiety. You focus your energy where it counts. Calm. You stop living on emotional roller coasters. You start responding, not reacting. Discipline. You move with intention, not impulse. Freedom. No one owns your attention. No event owns your emotions. Control. Not over the world, but over your inner world. The only one that ever mattered. You become grounded. You become dangerous, because you cannot be shaken. That is the real Stoic power move. So now ask yourself, what are you holding on to too tightly? What fear controls you? What story limits you? What attachment is costing you peace? You don't need to force everything to work. You don't need everyone to approve. You don't need life to go your way. What you really need is to be free. You don't gain power by controlling more. You gain power by needing less. Detach from expectations. Detach from outcomes. Detach from illusions. And what remains is unshakable, untouchable inner power. You were never meant to control everything. You were meant to master yourself. And that mastery begins now with one timeless decision: detach, to gain control. Thank you for watching. If this brought you clarity, share it with someone who needs to let go, and subscribe for more timeless wisdom in a chaotic world.